Hello, Colin, Brendan, Cadence, and Trey. I hope you had a good weekend and are ready to learn some more math. Today we are going to talk about comparing and ordering numbers. At the end of this lesson, you will be able to tell me which numbers are bigger, and you will be able to put numbers in order from smallest to largest. Here we go! Most of you already know how to tell me which numbers are bigger. You look at the first digit, right? If we are comparing 47 and 36, we know that 47 is bigger because the 4 is bigger than the 3. So we would write our inequality with the mouth eating the 47. If we compare 892 and 365, we know that 892 is bigger because the 8 is bigger than the 3. So we write our inequality eating the 892. But what if our numbers have a different number of digits? This number has 4 digits. 1, 2, 3, 4. And this number has 2 digits. 1, 2. So first, we are going to line up the ones places. So here in this number, the 2 is in the ones place, 72, 2 ones, and this number, the 3, is in the ones place. So in this case, the number whose digits stick out further is bigger. So this number is bigger. It goes all the way up over 3,000, and this one's just a little 72. So if we move these back, we would put our mouth eating the bigger number, or eating 3,123. So our inequality reads 72 is less than 3,123. Let's try another one. Which number is bigger, 4,338 or 567? If you just look at their first digits, you might think that 567 is bigger because 5 is bigger than 4, right? But you just learned that you need to line up the ones places. So here's the ones place, and here's the ones place. And this one, you see that the 4 sticks out further on the left than the 5 does, which means that the 4,338 is actually bigger than 567. So we draw our inequality with the mouth eating the 4,338. When putting numbers in order, we are going to use this same method. So here are 3 numbers, 454, 2,354, and 2,534. So we need to put them in order from least, which means smallest. So let's write least down here, to greatest, which of course means biggest. When we line up their ones places, here we go, lining them up, we see that these 2 numbers stick out the furthest, which means they are bigger than 454, which makes 454 the smallest. So we will list that one first. Now if we look at our 2 remaining numbers, we see that their first numbers match, 2 and 2. When that happens, we move to the next numbers and compare those two. So instead of 2, we're going to go to the 5 and the 3. So 5 and 3, which one's bigger? The 5, right. So we move that one to the end of our line because it's the biggest. So then that means the last number goes in the middle. So we have from least to greatest 454, 2,354, and 2,534. Let's try one with decimals next. When putting decimal numbers in order, it's important to remember that you still have to line them up, but this time we're going to line up the decimal points instead of the ones places. So let's line up our decimal points. Which number do you think is the smallest? If you said 87 or 87 cents, you were right. Do you see how these numbers have digits in the ones place? But this number doesn't. It has an understood 0 in the ones place. So it's the smallest. So we're going to rewrite our least and greatest. And we're going to move the 87 cents to the smallest spot. For our two remaining numbers, one has a 1 in the ones place and the other has a 2, which means that the one with the 2 in it is bigger. So we're going to move it to our biggest spot, and our remaining number goes in the middle. So if we were to list them from least to greatest, we would say 87 cents, $1.56, and $2.73. When you're asked to order numbers from greatest to least, and you will be asked to do this on your homework, you still have to compare the numbers, but you list them in the opposite order than what we've just been doing. If you start with 476, 467, and 697, you still need to line up the ones places. Since they have the same number of digits, you need to look at their first numbers, 4, 4, and 6. Right away, we can see which one is the biggest because it has the biggest number in this spot. Right, 6. So we're going to move that to the greatest spot. Now remember, I started moving it over here, but our greatest is down here now, so we have to remember that we're going greatest to least. So then we look at the two numbers we have left, and they each have a 4 in the hundreds place, so we need to move to the tens place. This one has a 6, and this one has a 7. 7 is bigger than 6, so this one needs to go in the smallest spot, and this one will then go in the middle spot. So if we were to list our numbers in order, we would say 697, 476, and 467. It's time to start your homework. You will need to fill in greater than, less than, or equal to symbols for some parts of your homework, and for the rest of it, you will put numbers in order. Please make sure you read the directions or ask Miss Lee to read them to you, okay? Good luck!